Namaste, and welcome to our continuing series, Interviews with Disciples and Devotees. Of course, you may have already seen the many interviews I have done with my honored friend, Madhusudhan. Namaste.
Namaste, Narad.
So nice to have you back again with us.
It's
What do you have for us today?
I think this is for the first time that I'll be speaking regarding spirituality. And what I'm going to tell you today is, honest to God, based on what Mother told me, what Mother explained to me, already as a small boy, as a young boy, with the questions that I asked her. So I thought it's time that somebody explained or talked about supra-mental consciousness. It's time that somebody explains or talks about supra-mental consciousness, because it's the main theme, according to me, of Sri Aurobindo's work. And surely, according to me, a very important reason why Mother and Sri Aurobindo came personally to this earth as more than avatars, because they are pre-avatars, they came even before the avatars. So my question to Mother was, when I was small, and I asked her, when does one experience supramental consciousness? And she said, my child, you are born in supramental consciousness as a child. Then I said, then what is the meaning of this entire process of yoga and
evolution?
Yes. My Mother said, the problem is that people are born in supramental consciousness, with supramental consciousness as a child, but then with the evolution of their brain, of their biological brain, the cerebral mind, then they start to lose contact with the supramental consciousness. So, let us make something very clear. I'm a neurologist, and I understand the Mother extremely well. And let me try and explain what she meant and what she said and what she has explained to me, because then you will also understand why Mother and Sri Aurobindo created this ashram where they gave to their sadhaks, or their disciples, everything. Everything. This is the highest standard of living anywhere on earth or in this universe, is in the ashram. She provided for everything. And she had said she gave all that so that people could devote their life or their sadhana to the pursuit of spirituality, to what Mother and Sri Aurobindo are teaching. So then again my question was, naturally, what is this spirituality? What will I be when I'm spiritual and when I've acquired and attained supramental consciousness? And she laughed and she said, you will be still Madhusudhan. Only a very freed Madhusudhan. I said, freed from what? From suffering and torment. You will start living this luminous life, this consciousness of Sri Aurobindo, this Brahmanic consciousness, where you will feel so in contact with the rest of the world, with everything that the divine has created. So, going further, she had even explained to me that at the time of creation, this Brahmanic energy that came, which was even created, I personally see and understand, by Mother and Sri Aurobindo, because they are pre-Brahmanic consciousness. And it is the Brahmanic consciousness that created the sound of Om, which then this frequency slowly evolved into material life. So she said at that time, they created a duality. It is the birth of the biological body, matter, and also of spirit, the soul, which is the divine within this body, she said. And she says, it is this divine, the soul, this divinity, that is more important and which should guide human beings and not the biological brain. And that's why she said that the biological brain is not supramental as such. It is biological, it's evolving. And today we are far more evolved, I'm talking also neurologically, than perhaps 1,000 years ago. So she said, this evolution, the idea of evolution was for the divine to manifest himself or itself into matter and created this biological evolution. And simultaneously, the evolution of biological evolution, also this evolution of the spirit which they are, which is the divine in us. And that is the only thing, she told me, that is common between all of mankind. We are of different races, we have different genetic structures, we are different, even siblings are one different from the other, but the common thing between siblings, between me and a Mongolian and an African or an Eskimo, is absolutely one thing, the soul, the divinity in us. So the Inuit, the plain Indian worker, the Maharaja, everybody, they are different, they are not related to each other. The only relationship is not biological, it is this divinity. That is what is in common. So I said, then where is the crucial problem? He says, mon fils, c'est ton cerveau. She said, it's your brain. And I said, why? She said, because it starts making a lot of noise. It starts getting very complex when you start evolving. And as a neurologist, I know the brain of a child has no experience, no knowledge, no intelligence as such. It's something totally virgin, it's something absolutely pure, it's absolutely divine. It is only controlled by the soul. But as it starts growing and it starts learning, and we start teaching him, 2 plus 2 makes 4, he's starting to now understand the value of things, the quantities and so on. He starts understanding what is good, what is bad. He starts learning what is competition, why he should be better than the others and so on. And already there is so much noise in his brain, there is so much confusion that he slowly forgets from where he came, what he is. This is expressed extremely beautifully in a poem written before Sri Aurobindo's time by William Wordsworth called Intimations of Immortality. And that's why I chose the title for this interview, Intimations of Supra-mental Consciousness. And intimation means glimpses, flashes of this thing. So Mother said, you lose it, but then there are flashes. Then there are moments that you truly get. So she says she tried, and what she did not, she tried. She says, this is why, my child, I have provided everything in the ashram so that you don't have to worry where your next meal will come from. You don't have to worry how you dress, where you live. I provide everything for all you children so that you don't lose this contact with the supramental consciousness. And that everything structured in the ashram was to promote this consciousness. And why? She said, because this supramental consciousness, this Atma, should control the brain and not the brain, the body and life.
What did Mother say about the vital nature?
Vital nature comes 100%, she says, from our biological nature, from our biological structure. It is there exactly, this consciousness that will make you aware of this vital nature. You know, she said, mon fils, c'est avec cette conscience que tu es capable d'observer. It is with this consciousness, it is in this state that you can observe your vital reactions of your body. And there is this beautiful, I call it divine schizophrenia, this aspect that you watch things through the light of the soul and the wisdom, the divine wisdom in us. We watch how our biological structure that the divine created, which is evolving, and therefore then we can learn how to control it, how to manipulate it to become one with this divine consciousness. And then it's no more a vital aspect, I feel. It becomes a part of this divine life because procreation has to continue. It doesn't mean because we have become all supramental beings that we shall not have intimate relationships, we will not have this vitality of physical love and all that. Because then where will this procreation take us? When we all die, there will be nobody on this earth and the divine purpose is lost. The idea was to create a divine manifestation physically on this earth where the divine lives in everybody. So I'll still be a doctor. Narad will be still a famous journalist. Okay? And the mechanic will be a mechanic and the sandal maker will be a sandal, with the difference that all of us have this relationship from soul and that we do not have these conflicts what we are having today and we do not suffer. So I'll be working as a doctor but as an illuminated doctor who can give to my patients not just the medical treatment that they need but also this consciousness that is so contagious, which is so powerful. The soul is far more powerful than all the muscles on this earth put together in one body. And the soul just of one child or of a person is more powerful than that because it's the divine. So if we use this energy of the soul, let it dominate our actions, our physical actions also, our physical work and everything, then the work is done better, there is less stress. The body also, somebody said, Shobindu has written that the supramental consciousness will also transform our body. It is the supramental transformation, even physically. And he said, what does that mean? Do we mean that our body will change? We'll have more arms and more legs or more fingers or something? No. What Shobindu is saying is that this body won't be under the control of this biological, neurological brain from where all our confusions come and all these conflicts come and all that, but from the soul, from the divinity within us, from the divine, from Mother and Shobindu. And so I will still be a doctor, but I think a better doctor because of this aspect of
But do
harmony.
you see any change in the human body so far?
Yes, and the change in the human body. Sorry, thank you for reminding me that this was the argument I was supposed to talk about. Why this transformation of the physical body? Transformation of the physical body, it is taking place since 200 years ago. Human beings did not live very long, and there were a lot of illnesses and all that. Today, children are coming to earth with better physical health than children 200 years ago. And you can see that the body is transforming. So the transformation will be in the quality of life of your body because your body will not be controlled by this endocrinological system of your hormones and everything, which then bring in you various situations, including high blood pressure and all that. But it is guided, it is transformed to the point that it is no more affected by these outer situations where you become stressed and nervous. No, you take it calmly. So your blood pressure remains normal. Your quality of your body is far superior.
Oh, we have seen in these new children just born, they have hair. We never had hair when we were young, when we were born.
Hey, this is interesting.
Our eyes were closed. Their eyes are wide open.
Now look at this. If this is not Madhusudhan Shobindu's explanation of supramental transformation, and Mother has provided us in the ashram this opportunity to stay in contact with the supramental consciousness, because if you are not bothered about where your next meal will come from, then your mind is freed from that preoccupation. How will I get my next meal? Where will I get it? Mother has given you. So you can remain in this state of divine consciousness and do your things with this joy, with this love in every cell of your body. And the quality of your life is far superior. And Mother told me, mon fils, tu le sens, tu le sais. She said, you are feeling it and you know. So just imagine, if everybody felt that way, how wonderful it would be. I said, yes, I feel so good in that state. I told her that, why can't I always be? She said, yes, you will be, and you're becoming that way. Continue the progress. But that doesn't mean that you have to stop, that I stop studying or I stop working and I meditate all day. And this is exactly why when I was a child, I remember I had problem meditating when everybody else meditated. And she says, don't worry, my child. You just watch the stars. Just imagine. So, does that mean meditations are not good? No. On the contrary, they are very important. Everything is fine. But she has given us possibilities. For instance, Narad, the dining room was a place of absolute serenity and silence. We used to sit on, there were little tables, there were mats, and there were little tables. Everyone came, sat down, lotus position. And she had said, we should be silent. And there too, I asked her, why should we be silent? She says, then your consciousness will connect with the consciousness, the divine presence in the food that you're eating. So this, your supramental consciousness connects with the supramental consciousness or this divine consciousness in the food that you're eating. It tastes better. It gives you its 100% nutritional value. So you digest it better and you're in contact with something that was also created by the divine that you're putting into yourself, that you're absorbing. So if you're calm and you're only connected with this energy in your food, that is why this silence, there should be no distraction. And she gave us this in everything. She created a style of life, a quality of life, where people didn't have to even worry about their entertainment. We have sports, we have drama, we have dances, we have music lessons. She gave us. She gave us all this, so we don't have to worry where will I learn all. She's giving it so we can always be in harmony with Mother and Sri Aurobindo. And in those days when Mother was there, I must confess, there was a fantastic harmony around her and in the ashram. And this silence around the samadhi and everything is meant for that. It's not just a question of respect or something. It's much more deeper. That if you are silent when you go to the samadhi and you are in tune with the divinity, this energy emanating from this sacred place, and you become one with that energy, that is the meaning of going to the samadhi. But what that also means is that I can go to the samadhi also through my energy, through my consciousness. Because if I'm in Germany, I can't go to the samadhi in the morning. But I do go every morning to the samadhi, in my own way.
I'd like to ask you, in your clinics in Italy, have you noticed a change in the consciousness of what we would call average people, normal people?
Believe it or not, I do. And people say, my God, but there's such a lot of chaos and all that. But this is again, Narad, it is through this what Mother gave me. She said, through your inner state of being, you'll be able to see, observe also the positive aspects of everything and not just the negative aspect. All these wars and everything disturb us and we are caught by that. But Narad, believe it or not, their work cannot be stopped. Neither by atomic energy or by human folly. No way. There are disturbances and all that. There are wars and all that. And that is why Mother said, don't look at all these programs. Don't read all these newspapers and all that. Because it's only disturbance, it's noise. Let the divine do it through it. So, when you're in this supramental state of supramental consciousness, which is, neurologically speaking, what is it? What is consciousness? What is consciousness? Have you ever asked? I see all these pundits discussing Mother and Sri Aurobindo and Savitri and life divine, but I would like to ask them, hey, why don't you explain me what is consciousness? And it's very simple. Mother would tell you, it is a state of being, cerebral state of being, that you're aware. And that's not just neurologically aware, that people are sitting here, Narad is there and all that. That's there. But you're also aware of the divine presence in everything and in everyone. So consciousness is actually a neurological state. The brain. Because when the brain is cut off, it is disconnected, the body is absolutely silent. There is nothing in the body that moves. And we see there is no frequencies in the brain because its brain is paralyzed, or in a dead person, there is absolutely no life at all. There is no frequencies in the body as such. It is, consciousness is this state of being where your brain is controlled and is under the influence of your soul, of the divinity within you, the divine presence within us, and in everything else. So, you're not only just connected with the objects that you see, but you're connected with the divinity in it, the energy, the divine in everything, because the divine created everything. There's a beautiful Hindi song where he says, the poet says, this divine is in the perfume of the flower, in the jasmine, but it is also in the poison of the scorpion. Because divine created all that. And this is why Hinduism teaches us these things beautifully. But there is nobody better than Sri Aurobindo Mother now telling us, good, you have learned all that through Hinduism, through all the spiritual teachings of all the big masters that we have had. But we have now come to a point where Sri Aurobindo himself came with Mother so that this divine consciousness is manifested through what we call process of awareness. It starts just by you becoming conscious of things around you. That is awareness. That's neurological. But then when you start becoming conscious and aware of their inner energies of presence and everything, and you start enjoying the beauty of this creation and not just seeing the crass conflicts and all that, which immediately strike you. That's why the question of Narad, when he says, do you see a difference? I do. I travel worldwide. And I'm seeing, and I'm trying to explain to people what the Mother explained to me. She said, it's all within you. Everything. The Purusha, Sri Aurobindo, Mother, they are in us. They are not somewhere up there. Yes, they're everywhere, but the closest. And she says, this is why, if you go within yourself, my child, you will experience us constantly, because we are there. In every cell of your body. And believe it or not, in a few days, on the 10th of March, I'll be turning 86.
86?
Yes.
10th of March.
Yes.
I'll be 86 in July.
I'm still older than Narad.
3 months.
He's my younger brother, but a very beloved brother. But look, I'm 86. I'm the happiest man on earth. I don't need vitamins. I don't need medications. I don't take anything. I don't need anything. And the latest test that the doctor in the ashram did on my blood, he was shocked. He says, I can't believe it. You're 85, but the values, your body value, blood values and everything is that of a young man. And he said, it can't even get better because they are optimum. He says, it can't get better because they are maximum. They can't be better than maximum. Now, how can that be? And I am not one of those fanatics who watches out what I eat and all that. I'm conscious of what I eat, yes. I enjoy what I eat because Mother taught me that. So that's why when I eat, many of my friends say, hey, you don't talk, you're very quiet. I say, I'm connected with what I'm doing. The food I'm eating. I'm in a state where I'm nourishing my body, which is a divine vehicle. They abide in us. If we don't look after our body, we are abusing their residence of the divine. So look, I might sound very crazy saying, my God, what is this guy talking about? What I'm talking about is, hey, if you want to truly enjoy life, try and understand Mother and Sri Aurobindo, what they're teaching, and apply it. Practice it. Don't only just participate in all the activities that Mother has provided us. But she has given this possibility so that we can be in contact with this thing. So when William Wordsworth talks about intimations of immortality, for him, intimations of immortality, immortality for him means this divine consciousness, Sri Aurobindo's supra-mental consciousness. He did not know that, but he calls it from where we come. He says, from where we come is this incredible ocean of love and all that. And he says there are moments in life where intimation is just flash. So for instance, when the mother sees her child smile and she feels this love, she can't see this love, but that is a supra-mental consciousness experience. where there is no manipulation that he will feed me or he will look after me when he grows up and all that, or what he'll be. She just says, I love my child. No demands, nothing, no analysis. Doesn't say, oh, because he's well colored or this or that. No. It is just this feeling. Those are supramental flashes, intimations, glimpses. And Mother provided us with all that, so that when we go to the dining room, we are in contact with supramental consciousness when we are eating silently with our food. She gave us sports and all that, so that we don't have to worry how we're going to spend our pastime. You are there and you enjoyed, and you enjoyed with this divine joy. And when we were with the Mother, she used to play tennis and everything, and you can see the joy of also sporting activities and everything. I don't know anywhere else on earth where you can find something like that. Mother gave it to us. And coming back to you, slowly but surely, this consciousness, whether people know Mother or Sri Aurobindo, it will spread, because it's a very powerful thing that Sri Aurobindo has manifested. He has completed the cycle. Humanity had reached the doors of heaven, let's put it this way, of consciousness. But they were closed. He and Mother, with their teachings of this supramental consciousness, have opened up these doors. Now the link is complete, and we can truly enjoy paradise on earth.
What is your feeling now about Mother's creation of Auroville and all the problems that we face there?
I saw, my nephew showed me a video where the governor of Pondicherry, I think he's called, I think he's the governor of Pondicherry State.
Yes, I was there.
Yeah, I see him. And he says that, yes, Auroville has been built according to Mother's wish. But what is being practiced there is not what Mother had said. And if you truly observe what she has written, and they themselves, the Aurovillians, tell us what Mother has written and what Mother has said, what Auroville should be. But then when you see how they practice in terms of administration, let's not talk about people's individual lives, already you see that it is not in harmony with what Mother had said, that it is for all of humanity to be able to go. And understand there has to be a certain discipline, there has to be a certain harmony, and especially in India, because everybody will just rush into the temple. So they have to have certain rules. But again, there we see. So, though there is so much critic, and I personally would not want to live in Auroville, but that's for my personal reasons. It has nothing to do with Mother's creation. But it was the Mother who told me. When Auroville was created, I was studying abroad, and I used to come every year because she wanted me to spend my vacations with her here. So when Auroville was created, one of the first people who built a house there was my brother Giant and his wife Aster Patel. They were among the first who built a house. I think 3 or 4 houses were built initially there. I asked the Mother, should I also join Auroville? Believe it or not, look at me. Mother said immediately, as the moment I said, doucement, should I? Said, mon fils? She said, mon fils, Auroville n'est pas pour toi. Auroville is not for you, she says. Not because Auroville is wrong. She says, you are not just for Auroville or for Ashram or for India. My son, mon fils, tu es pour l'humanité. You are here for all of humanity. I have brought you here to do the work of Mother and Sri Aurobindo. This is all of humanity. So you help anybody and everybody that comes to you. So, I still must say, no matter how much critique there might be on what Auroville is or what Auroville is not, to me it is a divine creation of the Mother, and sooner or later, whether the Aurovillians want it or not, her will be manifested. But this is the beauty of this divine creation. This is the beauty of Mother and Sri Aurobindo. Otherwise you believe her for things that go along with you. You say, yes, Mother wanted it, Mother has given me, and so on. But then they're against it, Ashram is wrong, everybody is not following what Mother was saying. I don't care. To me, the ashram trustees are representatives of the Mother. It was her creation, this system. They represent the mother not just administratively for signing papers and managing everything else. They represent mothers and Sri Aurobindo's spirituality, their message. They are their delegates. To me, they represent my mother. So when I touch the feet of the trustee Manojda or Batida or anyone, I don't know the other trustee, I'm touching the mother's feet, Sri Aurobindo's feet. What's wrong in that? This is so nice. Why can't you see the divine presence in everything? And mother created these trusteeship. So you might not agree with the individual personal lives or way of doing things. But you cannot take certain things that mother has given and other things you reject. Everything that they have created, everything the divine does, you, even if it doesn't please you, you have to be at least honest and say, hey, it is their creation, so I will respect it. So to your answer, you wait and see. Auroville will reach, it will attain, it will fulfill its purpose sooner or later.
Mother said the Supreme is in charge.
Voila. So don't ask me. She told you already. Voila. Sister, but this is it. And this is the joy of it. I said, I leave everything to her, so there is no problem. I don't have to worry. Is this okay with mother or not? No, I've left everything to her. But I do my part. I don't sit back and say, she will do my work. I have to help my patients. I can't say, mother will do it. No. She does it through me and through them. And this is a whole thing. We can discuss about this for hours. It is marvelous spirituality. And believe it or not, this process of supra-mental consciousness is an extremely important thing. You should have more and more of these flashes. This is why when you go to the samadhi and you're connected with someone, you are in a supra-mental state of supra-mental consciousness. Believe it or not. Even if you have never known Mother and Sri Aurobindo. But this is it. It is not just knowing them. It is what they are in their true being. They are divine. They are energies. And that is why they are as effective now as when they were in their bodies. And perhaps even more, because they are now not limited to the biological bodies. That is why Sri Aurobindo passed away. That is why Sri Ma passed away. They went to the samadhi because the body was too old. But they, my God, I experienced them just the same as when I was born. So everybody knows me as a very joyous person, very naughty. I'm a very happy person. So I'm always joking and I can never be serious, and I don't like to be serious. Why be serious? But nevertheless, I am in contact with them. I can be what I might be. But she brought me to this earth, and I will do what she has asked me to do. And my work I do with patients has a lot to do with their consciousness. She told me, I was told, I think in my past interviews I've also said, that when you come in contact with this, when you go to the samadhi, the energy is at its maximum. Okay? And there is even more. It can't be at its maximum. It is unending. But you feel it very strongly when you're there. The further you go away, you can feel it. So you can be in Alaska and feel the energy of Mother and Sri Aurobindo and the samadhi.
Madhusudhan, 23 years after Sri Aurobindo left his body,
Yes?
Mother began working on the transformation of the cells.
Mm-hmm.
Can you speak a little about that?
Mother's working on the transformation of cell. The only explanation I can give to you is this cellular consciousness, because the cell is biological and it has its life, it is its biological life and so on, and that's why all the illnesses. But if the cell transforms in the sense that it becomes now capable of maintaining or creating and living with this cellular consciousness, or this divine consciousness in the cell, then this cell becomes far more immune. This cell doesn't mean it'll become immortal, but it starts getting immune. It starts becoming also a part and particle of this creation, in molecular form, but in harmony with the energy, which is a frequency, the consciousness. This was necessary because our body, our brain is the main enemy. There are two entities that are very important in us. It's the brain and the soul. The soul is an energy and it does not have a brain. So it never gets confused. But the brain is a very, very precarious thing. I'm a neurologist, so I understand the brain extremely well. And this is why awareness is the only way you can control your brain. And the cellular consciousness that mother is talking about, is not just the cell of your skin and your muscles, but every single cell in your body, including the most important cells, which have a lot of bearing on our spirituality or our life, is the brain cells. Okay? And these brain cells, she doesn't want to make them immortal in that sense. No. You have to understand the mother. She's making them truly supra-mental. She's transforming these cells capable of seeing, feeling, expressing, and living, not with the neurochemistry, but with this supramental consciousness, divine consciousness. That is where she's working on this cellular thing. That is why it is today possible for me to enjoy life. This is divine work. This is mother's work, concrete work, and the results of this concrete work. Otherwise, I would be still savage like 2,000 years ago people were. Honest to God, I would not be the happy person I am. I would not be in the health I am in. And all of us. It is their work on cellular consciousness. That's why. And when I work with people, it is this consciousness that mother has worked with on the cell that you have to use to help them solve physical, biological problems of health. You know. And there are people here who have come from Mumbai. They can witness that their mother was very critically ill. And if I'm not mistaken, she was really on the threshold of leaving this world. According to me, I don't know if they were aware of it, but even the family were aware of it. And she saw my picture, she saw me on one of your videos, I think, or the daughter saw me on one of your videos, and she said, "This is the man I want to go to." And she came all the way from Mumbai to Bangalore, because I had no time to go to Mumbai to see her. And I had a seminar in Bangalore, plus consultations. So she, in spite of her very poor health, in spite of my warnings that please stay home, she came. And in one single encounter, she did not encounter me. She came to encounter the Divine Mother and Lord Sri Aurobindo. She didn't know that, but I knew that who am I? I'm just Madhusudhan, mother's child. But this is the divine work. And the next morning, when we saw this lady, the father had tears of joy in his eyes, of emotion. And this person, who was a dying person, was standing straight, smiling. And today, she's living a perfectly normal life. She was even losing eyesight. And now she's living. And she's a very educated lady. She's a doctor in Sanskrit or something, of literature, Sanskrit literature, I'm not exactly sure, PhD. And she does translations and all that. She's in perfect health. She looks after her family. She enjoys life. I just saw her a week ago in Mumbai, and they're doing perfectly fine. They don't need any more treatment. So, this is the cellular work that Mother and Sri Aurobindo are working on and giving humanity this thing. And it is ambassadors or delegates or teachers like me who can try and explain these things. Okay? And this is the main reason I thought that we should speak about supramental consciousness. What it is a state. It is a state of mind. It's a state of being. It's a neurological state, supramental consciousness. And if you can control this through what Sri Aurobindo and Mother are talking about, through awareness, being conscious, and she was giving us all these possibilities to calm this, not to worry about our food, not to worry about our work, not to worry about money, so that we can dedicate everything to this divine. But we did not understand, perhaps. At least not everybody understood it.
You brought a couple of books.
Oh.
Can you talk to us a little bit about them?
Yes. This book called Spirituality, Illuminated Materialism and the Mind, I think I wrote it in 2016. It was on my computer. Then Mother's disciples Madhus and Shubhendu's disciples in Bangalore and Mumbai said, hey, no, you should publish that, you should, yeah. So I sent the link to them and they published it. It is the body, the mind, the soul, the matter and soul. Even the cover shows, where I'm explaining what is spirituality, what is materialism, because we think there is this subconscious idea that if you are spiritual, you cannot be material. If you're materialistic, you can't be spiritual. So matter and spirit are separate. But how can that be? Without body, my soul has no place to live, the divine in me. And without the divine, my body has no life. So spirituality and materialism, because body is matter. So materialism is not just money. Money is a divine energy. Mother explained to me that it's the energy of Shrima Lakshmi. It's the energy of creation. Everything around you created, and what you see apart from nature, was with the participation of energy of Shrima Lakshmi and the divine grace. Okay? So I've explained those things here, talking about spirituality, talking about materialism, and I call it illuminated materialism, because I want people to understand that all this is divine creation, this beautiful furniture, this fantastic room. And there's nothing wrong in luxury. There's nothing wrong in beauty. It is this attachment and all that. If that becomes the only goal of your life, then you're lost. There's no sense in it. But look at this aesthetic of this room. Look at this wonderful housing. This is divine creation. And through the inspiration of good architects and people with good taste and so on. So I've written about spirituality, materialism, and then the mind. And I have even given here, I have even shown, you can see there are even pictures of the brain that explains what the limbic system is, how it works, in very simple terms, so that even a gardener who can barely read can understand it. If he can read, he can understand it. It is explained not just for the intellectual people, but for the average people. And I've tried to explain how things get manifested. How did this place happen to be? How did this book got created? So I'm talking about the law of manifestation in this book, where you can manifest everything you want. Now, it's a wrong concept when we say it will happen if the divine wants it. And if somebody says that to me, I would first want to slap him. And if you ask me why, I said, this is an insult to the divine. So, because he's saying, if divine wants it, it will happen. If Shrima wants it, it will happen. So I said, what? Are you crazy? Are you telling me that Shrima wanted millions of Jews to be killed by Hitler? That she permitted Hitler? She gave Hitler the permission to destroy half the world? No, nowhere. The divine doesn't say yes or no. At least that's how Mother explained it to me. She says, le divin n'a rien à faire avec ça. C'est à toi de décider. It's up to you to decide what you want to do. And what you decide to do, you will do. It will be manifested because you want it. Attention, mon fils, she said, but be careful, my son. There is this law that divine has created, called the law of karma, cause and effect. So, this crazy guy called Adolf Hitler decided to murder innocent people. What happened to him? Finally, he had to murder himself. Okay? Law of karma controls that. But not the divine says you do it, you don't do it. And the divine created this law. And through that law, divine controls the thing. So Shrima controls. Our Lord Shobhanda controls things. But not through rigid laws and so on. Through a very, very nice law called law of karma. You decide. So Narad decided not to live in a cave, but to build a nice, beautiful house. Because he decided, it happened. And the law of karma says he's going to enjoy it now. He's more comfortable here than in a cave. At least I would be more comfortable here than in a cave.
You know the story of the person who complained to Sri Aurobindo that Mother was wearing beautiful saris. And Sri Aurobindo said, "Would you have the divine dress in rags?"
I love this. And I always tell to people, Mother wore the best saris. Mother wore the best perfumes. Mother heard the best music. Mother, everything around Mother, her ashram, her creation, everything was aesthetic, everything was beauty. There was nothing around Mother and Shobhindo that was not beautiful.
Beauty was everything she talked about to us.
Yeah, look at it. Thanks for mentioning this, because it is true. It is true. You should enjoy beautiful things. But you should not be attached to it. You shouldn't be governed by it. You know, you should enjoy it and see its true presence, its true value. See the divinity in it. Okay, see the beauty of it, and you see life is so wonderful. The second book here is I had written it very long ago. It was written in Italian. Oh, it's actually that's not true that it was written. These are 14 seminars that I gave in Italian, and it was published in Italian. It's called Spirituality, Laws and Principles for Realizing Our Lives, where I don't teach spirituality. I'm only talking about, for instance, I've explained in this book what is the law of karma. Okay? So I'm talking about laws and principles of spirituality, because when you have Mother and Shobindo, you don't need me to teach you spirituality. All life is spirituality. And Mother was really somebody that, this is the only reason I regret that not all of humanity had the possibility to experience the Mother physically the way I did as a child. And it was the most beautiful childhood on earth. And I'm glad I was born because there was Mother. Because otherwise, this entire creation has no meaning without Mother and Shobindo. And I want you to understand that Mother and Shobindo are the ultimate avatars. I am 100% sure about this. If you go truly into the occult world, you will see this. And you know this, that they are the pre-avatar. Because if the Brahmanic consciousness created this process of evolution, of matter and soul, who created this Brahmanic consciousness? From where did it come? There you are, the Purusha, the Lord, Mother and Shobindo. They were there before anything at all, even before the Brahmanic energy. Before the Brahmanic consciousness, because it has to come from somewhere. And from where they come, they are from where they come. They are the source of everything. They don't have to come from somewhere. Everything else came afterwards, including, I said, this Brahmanic consciousness that they created and they pushed it. It's a beautiful thing. You have to, I think Shobindo is fantastic because he is the one who is explaining the process of evolution of consciousness. The Americans have explained it very well, the process of evolution of the body, of the biological evolution, from frequency to microorganisms, to insects, to fish and animals and so on, finally to men.
Oh, and science from the objective point of view.
Yes, science, let's put it that way, not the Americans, but the science from the objective point of view. But Shobindo is explaining and is showing us the important part of the evolution of the soul, of the spirit, of the Atma. And they have culminated the process of this evolutionary thing by descending on earth, as I call them the ultimate avatars, and I call them the super avatars. We can't call them avatars because they are more than avatars. They are not just gods born in human body. They are the divine. They are gods of the gods, if you want it. I don't know how to put it in words.
Self-born.
Beautiful. Now you have it. I don't have to search for a word, self-born. It's beautiful. No, I personally tell you to look at what Mother has created in the ashram, Auroville, everywhere. See Mother's spirit in it and Shobindo's spirit. And have faith and support it. And don't criticize it. Just tolerate it if at best, but I don't even have to tolerate it. I said, that is the way it is. I believe in the Mother. I believe she created it for some purpose. I can't imagine that she created this ashram, or they created this ashram and Auroville and all that, just for the fun of it. No. Yes, perhaps, yes, for the fun of it, but the divine fun of it. And it will be fulfilled. And it will be a fantastic divine manifestation, a divine creation. And Auroville will become that what Mother has said, because otherwise she wouldn't have created it. They had the foresight, so they could know if it was going to work or not. Why should they create something that will not work? No, Narad, I am not involved in politics or Auroville or ashram and all these things anyway.
Good.
I'm only involved in Mother's work and Shobinda's work, and I see everywhere their presence.
Mother said no politics.
Bravo, merci, Tusmer. Thank you, Srima. It's not my word of politics, and my message to all my patients and all the people who come to me is to feel Mother and Shobinda in a state of joy, and not in a pathetic way. Mother, please help us. No, Shri Ma, you can go to your mother and demand. Say, Ma, you created me, now you look after me. That's how rebellious I was. You created me, you look after me.
A mutual debt binds man to the Supreme.
You better believe it.
His nature, our nature he put on, as we must put his.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, what a wonderful life. I want you all those who are watching this video, all those who are listening to this, I want you all to feel Mother and Shobinda's love in every breath you take and enjoy them. Spirituality is not something where you sweat and you suffer. I used to see people meditating, I used to see the suffering. Mother laughed at me when I, as a child, asked, why when I watch people meditating, I see that they are suffering? And she started laughing. She said, you'll understand one day, my child. And I now, being a neurologist, understand that while they're meditating, their brain is driving them nuts. They're trying to find solutions in their brain. No, leave it to the divine. And what problems? I said, why should I carry the problems? They created this universe, then they can look after the problems. But it is true. Look at me. I'm 86. I'm happy. And yes, of course, when something sad happens, I cry. And when I fall and I hurt my knee, I shout, ouch. But because I'm in a human body. But that's life. I have nothing better to say to people than start enjoying life and you'll stop suffering. Spirituality is to make life happy. Make life beautiful. And Mother is the perfect example. She used to play tennis, she used to play music. She encouraged art and drama and everything. She gave me the love for classical music. I'm talking of Western classical music because and I used to bring records for her, long play records and all that, what she wanted. And I'm so glad because without music, this world would be a little duller. And with music, it makes it even brighter and nicer. And Mother taught me all that. So, Mother's message is always be happy, and she created us. And I see all these people suffering. Why should you go to the ashram? Why should you come to spirituality because you're suffering? I don't understand. That's not the right reason. No. Stop suffering. Start living, and you'll stop suffering. If you live. And sole purpose from what Mother has taught me was to be happy, Narad. Mother truly told me, la vie est faite pour être heureux, mon fils. Sois heureux, sois content. Tu dois rire. And I have always stayed and asked her, how can I be spiritual? I'm joking. I said, but that's the spirit of Lord Sri Krishna in you, she says. Because he was also very playful and so on. And I like to be like Lord Sri Krishna. He had a great life. He is my idol in that sense. No, I'm joking. But it is true. Life is not meant for crying and suffering. And spirituality is certainly not made for suffering. And you should not lament, you should not be sad. And when you sing songs and bhajans and all that, they should be joyous. And not pleading, oh. I hear songs, I was hearing yesterday while I was having lunch, Shri Krishna Sarana Mama, and as if they're crying. I said, Shri Krishna runs away when you sing like that. He wants you to be happy and sing a nice song to him and bhajans and say, hey, come, I want to dance with you. I want to dance to your music, to your flute. So make spirituality something joyous and not something so religious or so, I don't know what. They make it too serious, too tragic.
Joy infused with divine love.
Voila. Those should be the final word for this interview.
Thank you, Madhusudhan.
Namaste.
Wonderful to
Namaste.
see you again.
Same here.
Namaste all.